Okay, number one, covering the last four rhythms you learned. Just going bar to bar. So let's start with just the count. So remember, you want to, if you can't just say the count comfortably with the metronome, it's just going to make it too difficult to try and strum it. So just make sure you can count it first. So I'll count off four, so this way you can count along if need be. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and done. Alright, now with the guitar, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and done. Let's see. Here it is, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and done. 100 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and done. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and done. Number 2, I'm going to start with the count. So again, if you can't just say the count along with the metronome comfortably, you don't want to start strumming it yet. So I'll count off 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 1, 2 and done. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2 and 1, 2 and done. 80 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 1, 2 and done. And 120. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 1, 2 and done. Alright, now your speed picking deal. So the count is going to be, I'll just put on the click and say it. So it's 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4, 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4, 2, 3E and a 4, 1E and a 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 2. You might want to count this in like the slower tempos just to help you lock into the rhythm, and then, you know, after a few increments or a few increases with the metronome, you can go ahead and stop counting this one. Alright, so that was 60 beats a minute. Here it is at 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is at 160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do one more at 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. Just thinking about the pinch harmonic so much at the end, I screwed it up. Take 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright, on to the big writing assignment. So just to give you an example of what I'm expecting or looking for here. So I mentioned that I do want you to play what's there, and I want you to be able to play all the progressions, including the stuff that you write out. All you gotta do is be able to play it correctly once. So you can set the metronome up and just, you know, play it really slow, play it at a tempo you feel comfortable with. The thing is, just all you gotta do is just hit all those changes, play each chord 4 times, and then stick the final chord to tie it together. Just one progression at a time. So basically hit that first and then move on. So we'll play it at 60. And again, just do it at a pace that's comfortable for you, but if you notice you keep making mistakes on a particular progression, that usually means you're playing too fast and you need to slow it down so you have a little more time to think about what's happening. So progression number 1 should sound something like this. course, you can always play it faster than that if you can. So if like a progression's easy for you, you can just whip on through it. So the tempo doesn't matter on this. What matters is making good, clean changes from chord to chord. And yeah, you could do this with distortion or without. I'm opting to do it without, obviously. Actually, we will use chords like this with distortion as well. It's just if you play them clean, you know, you can hear the notes a little bit better. Perhaps get more acquainted with it. So yeah, all you gotta do is knock that guy out one time and then move on to the next one. So instead of, and you don't have to come back to him every day. Once you're done with the one, that's it for the week. You're okay. You can just focus on the other stuff. But you may want to do this as well. Just like maybe once a day, you know, make part of your warm-up just running through all those chords that I printed out for you. Especially the chords that start on the D string and the G string, since those shapes are more unfamiliar. So I'm going to do another example here. I'm not going to write it out, but I know the next one, let's see, I believe it's the 6-4-1-5. So, and you're going to be starting on the G string. So this is what I would do. So instead of like playing through, you just kind of like want to find some like easy to access spots. So the first chord or shape I would go to would be this minor shape up here. So the A minor with that open E string being used. So I'd do that, and then what I would do is drop right into that F chord right there, which is the 4 chord. So you got the 2, 1, 0, and then you go down a string, and then 3, 2, 1. So you see, A minor to F, you got 2 of the same notes, so it's such a very convenient shape to jump into like that. And then you got the 1 chord, so I would just go drop it down again to that C chord, the 3, 2, 0. And then you got an option here. You could jump up to the G here, which actually sets you up with these 2 fingers to just slide right down and hit that again. The other option would be, so you got the A minor, which is the 6 chord, F for the 4 chord, C the 1 chord, and you can just also just drop straight down again. So you just kind of climb down in pitch, and so you land on the G string, or the G chord there, or the 5 chord. So option 1, I would go with option 2, so either one I think is an acceptable choice, because you're staying within close proximity and you're not jumping left to right over and over again. So yeah, you want to stay in the same spot, just like you said. I think you said something along the lines of like effective chord changes. So yes, you want to minimize movement as much as possible. So there's my example for that. And then yeah, we'll see what you come up with. So another option, if you want to send me what you end up writing out before you start practicing it, just to be on the safe side, that works too. But just one big tell if it's not quite in an optimal place is if you're making big jumps from left to right. What you pointed out, I think you pointed that out today, how you don't want to do that. You're asking, that's what you want to avoid? Yes, that's what you want to avoid. No big jumps. I think that covers it. If you decide to lower your action, good luck. Just remember, like, the things I look for is like I'll lower everything as much as I can. You know, make sure that when you're lowering the action, there shouldn't be an issue with like having to loosen these guys. If you're raising the action, then yeah, you have to loosen these. And yeah, I recommend straightening the truss rod out a little bit. I'm gonna look at mine real quick here. Yeah, you can. There's really not much bend or bow to it at all. Yours was a bit more significant. So when you straighten it out, yeah, just don't forget to loosen your tuning pegs there. Loosen the strings up, because yeah, that'll tightening the truss rod's gonna tighten them strings. You don't want them snapping or anything. But yeah, if you have any questions with that, let me know. If you have questions with anything, let me know. And I'll see you again at our regular time, Monday at 3.